And I would also urge the Minister to consider extending the remit of the audience protection provisions of the Media Bill beyond broadcast and streaming to all UK accessible video content, including online. Now, I appreciate that that is a very significant expansion. But if the purpose of this media bill is to bring audience protection regulation up to date with current and future media landscape, then we are just skirting around the issue if we don't include online content. And indeed, the principle of Part 4 of the bill is to bring this parity between online and offline. And nowhere is this more needed than in the much less regulated online space. And I say this principally because of the proliferation of unregulated hardcore pornography on the internet. Pornography that would be completely illegal in the offline world, so on DVDs or on streaming services, and is now being viewed by millions, including children, and causing immense societal damage. We are not talking about erotic magazines passed by teenage boys around the bike shed. We're talking about extreme, violent, hardcore, repulsive, and completely illegal material. Violent rapes, violent assaults, incest, the most unimaginable degrading material, material that is illegal offline and always has been on traditional platforms. So if we are rightly convinced that it matters what people watch, that it matters that children are protected from strong content, whether they're watching it on TV or streaming it on demand or seeing it on their phones, then we have to apply the same principle to pornography. A third of the internet is pornography. Pornhub has more users than Twitter, Instagram, Netflix, Pinterest, Zoom and LinkedIn put together. It's a $100 million industry. And algorithms draw users into more and more extreme material. The government's own research makes the link between viewing violent pornography and violence against women and girls. And yet the average age of first viewing in this country is 11. So we will never turn the tide on violence against women and girls unless we recognise the role of pornography in conditioning men and boys to link violence with sexual pleasure. And that's why I would urge the Minister to bring online pornography content into the scope of the audience protection measures in this bill. The Online Safety Act will go some way to help this with the age verification provisions. It will make it harder for under 18s to access this content, and I very much commend the government for accepting those amendments which had cross-party support. But the Online Safety Act did miss an opportunity to crack down on online porn that will be completely illegal in the offline world, material that still proliferates online and even with the new protection will of course be accessed by some children. And again, the BBFC can have a role here because it is the BBFC's role to regulate offline porn, DVDs and certain adult websites. And they have a very effective working relationship with the adult industry. And also they have a relationship with payment providers. So if they establish that a particular adult platform has on it a video that is illegal, that should be taken down, they can contact the payment providers and ask them to deny payment to a particular website until the video is taken down. And of course, that's a very... I certainly will give way.
Would she also agree that the BBFC is a very established brand that's trusted by the public and understood? So the public would themselves have confidence if they were given the ability to act in this space?
My honourable friend is absolutely right, and that is exactly why I'm calling for the BBFC to have a much greater role in this bill, but also extending that to regulation of pornography. It's been going over 100 years. Other countries look to the BBFC for its ratings. They have buy-in from the public, buy-in from the content creators themselves. They are perfectly placed to provide the kind of regulation and expertise that we need. So if we really want online and offline parity when it comes to audience safety, which of course we do, because it doesn't matter where this content is viewed, it will have the same effect, then we must look to see if we can include pornography in the scope of this bill. And in fact, I would go so far as to say that if the government really wants to leave a legacy in child protection and reducing violence against women and girls, there is nothing more important than preventing access to hardcore pornography that is and always has been illegal in the offline world. So I do welcome this bill. It has some excellent provisions. Obviously, I've focused very narrowly on one aspect, but I would ask ministers to consider firstly mandating the BBFC age verification ratings for all streaming services, but secondly to extend audience protection measures to online content, especially to violent pornography.